I didn't bother filming the pack up this morning. Not that I often do, to be honest, but it's another day walking. Feel a bit energyless today. Lost my whole sort of mojo for walking. Don't know whether it's the food I'm eating, just the cold night that we had. Anyway, we are walking again in these strange little laneways. You do often think, I know there's a road that runs between here and the next town, and if they just had a footpath on it, and they may well do for all we know, you could just walk along that footpath, probably at a nice flat level. But instead, we're sort of diving and dodging into ditches and over ponds and streams. Oh, there's a little bridge ahead of us. Careful with this bit, Michelle, it's quite steep. Very steep and muddy. Yeah, a lot of people will say, oh, these are so beautiful, and they are if you're walking your dog once a day, maybe 500 meters round the track. Oh shit, now look at that, see, that is too steep and it is slippery as an ice rink, and we've got to get up it.
And can you trust that you won't blow away in the wind?
Michelle said, rightly so, why couldn't they put steps? Did it have to be a slope? There was a step the other side. And then, but 20 meters on, we have a big staircase again. First thing in the morning, the blood's not even warm yet. And we're going up these staircases. It's a funny thing. I don't know how other end-to-end walkers will feel, because when you meet them, everybody's all, it's lovely, you know, it's lovely. But I always think it's the emperor's new clothes sometimes. In reality, when you talk a little bit further with them, they say, that's bloody hard work. It's hard work. And frequently you feel like giving up. The problem is, it's a little bit like Facebook posts. People often say to me, you look at someone's Facebook post, it looks like they're having a wonderful time, and you're not. I think it's the same with these big walks. People that document them always want to make it look more romantic than it is, so they can do that Facebook thing of just showing off the wonders of what they're doing, when in reality you're trudging through wet, damp, with the occasional beautiful thing. But all in all, you're just a smelly tramp, for want of another word, making your way across the country. Yeah, don't believe Facebook. So this is your walk down to the town, not on the main road. You'll have your legs snagging on brambles and fallen trees and branches everywhere. I am hoping that Deer Street, which is the next big section that we do, is going to be as boring as people say it is, because boring often means to other walkers that it's just flat and got just maybe farm fields either side out in the open. Well, I'd be quite happy to have a nice stretch of boring at the moment, because interesting is fast becoming boring. So come over that blind bridge, coming up to this blind corner. It reminds me of an earlier stage where we're only about a few hundred meters from the town. Why they can't provide footpaths coming into the town is nobody's business, and it's wide enough You remember that mini footpath that one of the towns provided? Love this little narrow pathway, they called it. I'd opt for a path like this on every A road that we've been on, rather than the chances that we've been so close to being killed on so many of them. I've got to go around this blind corner. I know if a big truck was coming, he'd be hugging that bend. And there's no way of getting out the way. But why not? A miniature, a safety path so that people can get in and out. There's a national footway back there, just about 200 meters back, and no way to walk from the village to the footpath. It's very dangerous. Sorry to moan, it's one of those days. We go on this grass one?
Yeah. Did you see her?
Yeah, she waved. Beautiful wave. We go on this side. It's a nice big grass verge. So yes, we're at the town of Newtown, St Boswell. I would call it Newton St Boswell, but they seem to call it Newtown here. And we're at the cricket club. St Boswell's Cricket Club. It's nice and quiet. There's some dog walkers out on the green. Michelle and I have decided to make a brew, although we've only been walking an hour. It's a pretty long hour. Do you get the water okay, Michelle?
No problem.
No problem? Nobody meet you?
Oh, I just spoke to the other customers who were wandering around the garden. So I said, I'm just looking for water.
And I went in, sorry, I went into the pub just here. There's no staff around, but there was a...
Hello.
There was a... good day, guys. Hello.
Good morning.
Hello. Hello. How are you? How are you? So
Beautiful gardens.
there was no one there was no one in. Yeah, very nice gardens, and there was no one in there, so we used our opportunity to use their garden tap to fill up our water, so we don't have to go into the town. We've got to head out this way towards, I think it's called Deer Street. But anyway, for the time being, we've got a bit of sunshine. It's quite idyllic, and we're going to have a rest. Sorry if I've got sun cream on my face, but I do love these cricket pitches in England. They're just beautiful. They're a bit undulating, but there's a solid flat piece in the middle for the game. It's lovely. Perfect place to stop. Anyway, onwards and upwards. We're heading to Deer Street, the Roman road. So we are about together to discover whether Deer Street is... Just listening for instructions from my GPS. But we're about to discover together whether Deer Street is a real thing, because no one seems to know about it. Only 66 miles to Newcastle. Oh, we're nearly home. Newcastle, Australia. If we were there now, it'd be warm. This, unfortunately, although at least it's marked, could be the start of our Deer Street adventure. I think it only goes a few hundred, or less than maybe 100 or so meters, then goes back onto the road and then rejoins an old road or old walkway. I don't often do a side track, but look at this. There's a house here. Look at this old tunnel back here. I wonder if this would take us through to Deer Street. Probably not. There's a little boardwalk. I'm not going to go through because I think it goes the wrong way. I talked too soon. Back out on the road, but I've looked closely at the OS maps now. I think we've got about, not too dangerous, at 400 meters more, and then we should be joining. Well, look, there's an old English telephone box in someone's garden. We should be joining Deer Street proper and be off this road. My least favourite farmers in this area at the moment. Only because they steal the walkways. Let's hope Deer Street does not succumb to the farmers. We might as well wait here. Speed camera coming up. Watch your speed, Michelle. I think we'll step off the road a bit for a moment because this fella's not going to be able to stop for us. Oh, Lordy. Worst part about, by far, about the whole John O'Groats Land's End John O'Groats are these people. Cars. It's just the only, by that and the weather. The cold weather, Michelle, and cars.
I don't like the cold weather.
But if I had to choose, if I could get rid of one, it would be the cars. I'd rather walk in the cold than have these cars around us all the time. We might be able to get into this little lay-by before the next barrage of vehicles. Deer Street, here we are. That little sign, you can't probably see it just up in the hedge there. Really ancient old sign. It says Deer Street. Points sort of off to an angle. Woo! We are off the road and heading to one of the oldest roads, an old Roman road. Beautiful old Roman road. I say beautiful, it's probably bloody horrible. What did the Romans ever do for us? That's what I want to know. Well, what's he doing with this bloody go on?
Got a siren on his Tesco's van.
Tesco's van with a siren. What have the Romans ever done for us? Well, they gave us the many hundreds of miles of Deer Street, which could take us all the way across the border, possibly into England. So that's what the Romans have done for us.
Well, I hope it's not hundreds of miles across the border.
No, but it goes further down, a long way further down. So here it is. It might not be much, but it's ours, and there are no cars on it. The ancient Roman road. Now, what do Roman roads mean? Roman roads in British history generally means the roads that are built straight without any bends in them, because the Romans didn't mess around with bends and loops. They went directly over mountains, and that's a bit worrying, Michelle. She's not even with me. Where did you go?
I had to do my hair.
She had to do her hair. So Roman roads generally are roads that have no bends in them, and they just go straight. And this road does, on the map, look like a Roman road. It's straight, although to be walking on it at the moment, it's a little bit all over the place. You do often find modern roads can quite often mimic Roman roads, or even overpass Roman roads because of the practicality of their routes between big cities. I don't know the full history of Deer Street. If I find out more about it, I'll let you know, or I'll put some information up. But you can certainly look it up. I'm quite happy to be on it, that's all I can say. Thank you to our Roman friends and ancestors for providing us with a nice off-the-road way to walk.
Better than the A road.
What did the Romans ever do for us? They gave us Deer Street. The stick stuck. It's even maintained and beautiful. Is it wobbly?
Wobbly.
Main road, Roman road. Main road, Roman road. Those Romans.
We like those Romans.
Yeah, they lied to us about keeping their roads straight though. Oh, this is too nice. This is beautiful. Now ordinarily I was saying the other day I'm a little over forests and being out of the sun, but this is a lovely little forest walk. Not sure if these are popular trees or I don't recognise the tree. I don't think they're birch, but it's a lovely little walk. This is the marker for our new walk. Look over here if we can get over quickly. Look at this. It's a Roman way, it's a Roman helmet. Look, how beautiful. It's also the St. Cuthbert way, but we're more interested in the Deer Street way. Brilliant. Happy, Michelle?
Happy. Actually, St. Cuthbert's is that way.
Okay.
Deer Street is that way.
All right. Our first official Roman centurion's helmet that tells us we're on this old Roman walkway. Woohoo! Whoops.
Squeezy.
The hinge. So I just wanted to point out, now here's a farmer. He's done the right thing. He's put the furrows in his field, getting it ready to till, and he's left the pathway. So thank you to him for respecting the old Roman Deer Street road, or as my GPS calls it, Dur Street. Oh, hang on, did I speak too soon? It's going round onto his field now. No, it looks like he's left it clear. Beautiful. Bit of sun coming out. I think I can feel a lunch stop coming out. Well, the sun's been out all day, but we've been in the forest. Bit of a lunch break coming maybe up ahead on this grass verge. It's better, this farmer, Michelle.
Yeah.
Left the pathway. Nice. Yeah. Proper. This is the way it should be done. You can't mess with these ancient walkways. They don't belong to the farms. They belong to the people. It's important that we protect them at all costs. He's got a little bit close up here, mind you. Don't make me back out. No, I think it's fine. I'm going to stop filming. Hello there. Interesting looking lambs. They're not the black face. They're very sort of either mucky from the ground, but I'd say that's the colour of their fleece a little bit. They look more like closer to the Vondian that we used to have. So a quick stop. Didn't film it, but we had mash and pasta, and met a lovely couple walking their dog who know the Pennine Way and said it's a lovely walk. A guy that does guided tours, so he does guided walks from coast to coast. And they said it was a good walk. They said well signposted.
A little bit boggy in places, but nothing too much. Get a bit wet feet, but that's all right.
Bit of pepper, bit of black pepper. That's what I'm chewing on. Yeah, so they reassured us. They said we should really enjoy it after what we've done.
It's a lovely walk.
Made us feel a lot better. Yeah. And yeah, we've packed up.
A milestone. I put my bag on by myself.
Yeah, first time, completely by herself. I throw my bag. Actually, another milestone. I put my bag on just so that it didn't keep falling over in the grass. So we're getting to that sort of stage. And Michelle's full of water.
Yeah, so even better.
Well done. Fair maiden Liliad lies under this stain. Little was her stature, but muckle was her fame. Upon the English loons she laid moony thumps, moons on their heads, many thumps, and when her legs were cut off, she fought upon her stumps. AD 1544. When Lady John Scott, the poet, carried out repairs, she added these words. So a lovely tribute. A little bit of ancient British, Scottish, English, whatever you want to call history about Lady Lillard's. And I just went up to visit the stone, and there's a little poem there that's hard to read, but it's written in old style, I'd say old style English. Oh look, our Centurion's head is back on the post. For the last 4 or 5 posts, they haven't had that there. There's some little, possibly some little crab apples growing here, small at the moment, or maybe not. They could be they're a white apple of sort. Anyway, so yeah, fascinating, lovely. I like the poem. She fought them on her stumps. Of course, it's a little anti-English, which is so unlike the Scots. Not much up here that is anti-English. Generally, they're pretty much pro-English. But, oh dear. You rarely see anything the other side of the border swinging the bat the other way. Farmers coming through with a big flatbed. A JCB with a pick on the front. They're obviously collecting bales. This Deer Street, and it is still the St Cuthbert's Way, is absolutely gorgeous. This is the borderlands of Scotland, and you'll see well marked. That's what I like to think we're following, and the Cuthbert Way. If the whole walk had been like this, I think we'd be in Land's End by now. I mean, it's not perfect walking because it goes into the woodland and you do get cold and a bit damp this time of year. But I suspect in the summertime you'd be probably quite happy with the respite of these woods. Myself, I'd rather be out in the open. There were times earlier, I think in August, Michelle, when the woods felt more appropriate.
Yes.
But now we're getting into October.
Yeah, we're in the beginning of October.
1st of October, and it's chilly. You don't really want to be doing long walks. Michelle regulates her temperature with rolling up her sleeves.
Roll my sleeves up, take my hat off.
Hat on, hat off.
It's okay.
I'm probably one of the few people you'll see walking most this way in just a t-shirt. But I do regulate it with a hat. And I generally never butt, or don't very often butt on a second layer in the daytime unless it's really windy and cold, because I just get too hot. And I think that's because I'm warm-blooded anyway. I think my feet are generally, everything about me, warm hands.
You're always warm.
Yeah.
I'm always cold.
So I can regulate quite quickly out of my arms and my legs, and I don't ever think about needing to put socks on or keeping my feet warm. Many of the people I meet are all in full winter gear, and I did get one or two odd comments about what we were wearing, but it's comfortable. That's all I need to be on a walk like this. This is a very pretty wood.
I was just thinking that. I was thinking it's not coniferous, but there are coniferous trees there. But it's a pretty tree.
Yeah, predominantly deciduous trees. Coniferous on this side, as Michelle just said. Oh.
Yeah, no, it's mixed, isn't it?
No, it's a mix. I actually thought it was deciduous, but actually this is all conifers as well. But it's a very pretty, it's a wide path, a little bit boggy, but not too much. And enough light coming through the trees that it feels sort of airy and a bit fresh compared to the last wood we were in. And some of the woods as you come down through Scotland, probably through England as well, are so dense. The trees are so densely sort of packed together that it blocks out all the light, which can be kind of nice if you remember where all the toadstools were growing a few days back. But it does feel a bit oppressive, whereas this sort of lighter wood, where you can see the blue skies above you, I just think they feel nicer. Wow, look at this little section. Amazing. So we're out in the light. We're under these dense conifers. Look at the coming across broad from these boughs. This is some of the most enchanting woods. Very beautiful. And lots of nice decking to walk on where it gets rough. These are lovely, and that couple we met today said we've got some of the most beautiful walking yet to do, haven't we?
Yep.
Yeah. It's been an inspiring day today. Feel better mentally. You know, on and off, we've been thinking about whether to give up, haven't we?
Yeah, we didn't start off very well this morning mentally, did we?
No. And not to give up because we're tired, but to give up because we're tired of it, you know, tired of the wet, tired of the cold. Now, unfortunately, we've got apparently some bad weather coming our way for tomorrow. You know, I've always said only do things if you enjoy them, and there have been days of late where we haven't had such good days mentally. They're not tiring, but the weather is just beating you down with sort of cold and wind, no sunshine. And even though today hasn't been perfect, I feel uplifted. And this woodland, this old Roman road, the Deer Road, which is part of the St Cuthbert Road, which was annoying me yesterday. It's funny, isn't it? Because that was the road, it was St Cuthbert's Way that annoyed me mostly yesterday. So bad. Yeah, he was getting all the abuse. But now it's turned into a combination of St Cuthbert, and he's borrowed a little bit of our centurions. There's a centurion, there's dear old St Cuthbert. I think the Romans, they just organised the roads better than he did. I don't think he had a great deal of knowledge on how to set out a pathway. He just probably liked to use his name. But these guys, the Romans, they've beaten out a good old path. Mind you, saying that, Michelle, look ahead of us. Is it vanishing?
No, I think it's all right.
Honestly, this is quite the most...
Take the next left.
Thank you very much. We're using a combination of OS maps and Komoot. Okay, it is going to get a bit tricky here, look. I said maybe just a little bit too early, but I can still see bridges. It's a little bit up and down.
Left onto path.
Left onto path. Can't give all justice to Komoot because that's all maps that we planned ourselves. Komoot does the talking, we do the planning. That's the way we like it. But look, cross another bridge and off into the woodland. There's another marker. It's very well marked, this pathway. This sign here says the Woodside Walled Garden and the Cuthbert Way. Just going to have a quick look. And generally we don't like going off route, but I can see beautiful colour. You going to come up, Michelle? Here she supposes. Looks a bit like an allotment. Our friend Sean would be. Yes, no, it looks a bit like an allotment. Now I look at it, piles of peat. It looks like it's a garden centre. A garden centre. It's a garden centre, Michelle. Very nice. I can't see us taking a bag of peat back with us. Coming back down the hill. Michelle said, and she's probably right, they probably made this sign themselves because it's just a business. And it's done in very much the style of the old signposts, but it's not anything special. Well, you know, it's a garden centre, but it's a business. I think they made the signposts to divert us. At least maybe 3 or 4 people, maybe even more, we've spoken to, we've talked about Deer Street walking, and they've said it's the most boring. No, they just said it was boring.
They said it was boring.
This is one of my least boring stretches of the walk. I really enjoy it. I know it's undercover, don't get to see the mountains, but it's horses for courses. I guess it's people have a different perception of what is boring, but I like the fact that it's not too steep. It's relatively good walking. You don't have to look down at your feet constantly to see whether you're stepping on a boulder that's going to give way. And it's beautiful. It's fresh. The air's clean. It's not too mildewy like some of the other woods up further in the north. And no, it's, for me, it's a long way off of being boring. What are your thoughts? So we're still on the Deer Street, although it is zigzagging a little bit now, so we can bypass Jedburgh. We're not going into Jedburgh. We're heading straight to Burness, and to England, my friend. To England, Michelle.
To England and beyond. Oh.
Wrong character. Will you look at this? Now, I'm not sure if this is part of Deer Street, but I love it. It's beautiful. Wow. Ooh.
Ooh, that's a wobbly one.
How do you feel? That's a cable bridge. Wow. How do you feel, Michelle?
It's okay. It's got lots of steel cables and side rails.
Don't drop anything.
No.
Wow. Do you think the pony came across this?
I don't know, but it's a real wobbly one.
It swings, doesn't it?
Oh, I don't think the pony will like this.
No? Wow. That is an amazing sensation. Can you see Michelle behind me? How are you looking, Michelle?
I'm okay.
She wouldn't be happy if I rocked it.
No.
Whoops, what part of my bag is hitting the... You wouldn't want to drop your phone here, would you? Whee! Whoa! Now that feels giddy.
This is the Mont Vivid Bridge project in 1999.
Wow.
Part financed by the European Regional Development Fund.
Oh! The Montville at the European... Oh, good old Europe. You couldn't do anything without them, could you? Look at this bridge. This is a real wibbly wobbly bridge. Quite amazing. This bridge jumps and bounces. It's on cables. It's absolutely amazing. Oh, as are you sheep. And a nice little zigzag off. This wasn't built by the Romans, was it, Michelle?
Sorry?
This wasn't built by the Romans.
No, it wasn't built by the Romans. This was built by the
EU. You guys are not going to be happy when you see what's behind you. Oh no. Hello. Hello there, you. This is possibly some of the nicest camping we've seen, and because I really want to get past Jedburgh, we want to get past Jedburgh, we're not going to stop here. There's even a river down here. Oh, it would be good. And it's getting to that time, but today we're going a little further. We're pushing ourselves, not particularly tired, but pushing ourselves for distance. The nights are coming in so quickly now. You know, 6, 7 o'clock, you're losing all the sunlight. One of the other disadvantages of walking this late in the year, apart from the cold, is the lack of daylight hours.
In 40 meters, go straight.
So we've come off the riverside for some reason, and we're back on the road, but I think we're just crossing over there. Our signpost ahead of us, back onto Deer Street. And this Deer Street route, although it's going to be quite mountainous at parts, is going to take us most of the way across the Scottish-English border and onwards to Burness, which I was calling Byness, but I've been corrected. You can see it there. This is where the St Cuthbert Way and Deer Street part ways. So goodbye St Cuthbert. We are going with the Romans in the hope that their straighter route is as kind to us as it's been so far. It's getting late though. We really are starting to have to look out for a pitch, aren't we, Michelle?
We are getting to the end of the day.
We've driven ourselves a bit further. It was one of those days where we push hard and go further. Whether we've broken any records, who knows? I suspect we probably have, because the walk's been so nice. Fair few sort of uphill sections, a little tiring, but overall well marked. It's probably a bit dark again, but we took a punt coming through these woods and found this ploughed field, and we're on the corner. There's always a salvage edge to the field here, and we're on the right side, sort of for the sunrise, but there could be a big storm tomorrow, so we could be here a long time. Good night, everyone. But the mud, which was dry yesterday, is now clodding to our shoes big time. We're just drenched. Everything's soaking. Our ponchos are working, but there's, you know, when it's just endless rain, it all gets through eventually.